Spring has most definitely sprung over here in Australia, which means that it is now the 1st of September, which also means it is time for my August monthly wrap. So many cozies to get through. Get yourself something nice to eat, something good to drink, and let's dive right in. Welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. Let's go! Yes, hello and welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I am, of course, Mr. Francy, and I'm truly honored that you've once again chosen to join me today, as today we go through one of my favorite videos to do a monthly wrap, specifically the month of August, talking all the books that I read in the month of August. If you are returning back to the channel, welcome back. It's wonderful to have you back here again. You know the deal. Take a seat. The butler will be over in a moment with your lovely cup of tea. Yes, the one you ordered from last meeting. And if you are new, hello and welcome. Take a seat on your throne. There will be a waitress coming by shortly with some glitter and some confetti for you to throw, because we are a sparkling channel. Sparkle, sparkle. I am all about spreading sparkling positive energy all throughout the world. So even though this is a booktube channel, if you have something sparkling or positive that you would like to contribute to this channel, down in the comment section below with a place to do it. I have a series called Responding to Your Comments, where I get back to every single comment left on every single video, so it will be addressed. Also, if you want the sparkling to continue and never end, well, you have that option for absolutely nothing, for free. You can go to the link in the description below, or the first pinned comment, which leads to the Mr. Francy Reads official Discord page called the Sparkle Cafe, very adequately named. We would love to have your company. We are doing reading sprints every day. There are so many different channels discussing so many different things. We would love to have your thoughts, feelings, and presence over there. Woo! Alright! Let's let Mr. Francy take another sip of coffee, because clearly it's not needed, but I'm going to say it's needed. And when we return, we're going to jump right in to the September monthly wrap. This so reminds me of an episode of Will and Grace where Jack, one of the side main characters, or best friend characters, whatever you want to call him, he meets this guy at a cafe and they end up going out. And for the intro of this particular episode, Jack is telling Will and Grace about this guy. And he's like, oh, it's amazing. And he's talking really quickly because he's drinking a lot of coffee. And he goes, oh, and me like he and he like me. And the best part about it is, Shazam! I get coffee every hour on the hour and it's going to be amazing. And he leaves and I'm just so happy. Or have you seen Hoodwinked with that squirrel who's like, coffee! I'm just in a really good mood. And I think part of it is the coffee, but part of it is we are in September. August, for whatever reason, ends up being a really tough and rough month for me. So if you have been through a very rough month in the month of August, good news. We're in September and it is a new month and we can wipe the slate clean and start again. Alright, I know you're thinking, Mr. Francy, why are you waffling on about other stuff? I want to hear about your books and I want to tell you about them. So let's jump right in and start off as we normally do, discussing the monthly stats. I used to put them on the screen, now I just say them verbally. It saves me a whole lot of time, so let's do it. In the month of August, I read a total of 14 books, which all were cozy mysteries. I'm placing a cozy mystery embargo on myself if you are new, and if you are new and that confetti or glitter has made its way to you, start spreading it around. Woo! So we talk about subgenres that I read, and the cozy mystery subgenres that I read comprised of 7 culinary cozies, 4 animal cozies, 2 B&B retirement home, retirement village cozies, and 1 paranormal cozy. To my age groups, and all cozy mysteries are adult books, so all 14 books that I read were adult books. To my lengths, and I read 1 3/4 tome, 10 half tomes, and 3 novellas, totaling 4,159 pages. I don't talk about stats for the sake of competition, I just like numbers, so it's like, here we go, this is what it was this week. But honestly, I am starting to feel like I'm reading way too much at the moment, so September's TBR is also way too long. I think I got 15 books in September's TBR, but I think starting in October, I'm gonna read a little less so that I can spend time doing other things aside from just reading. But still, anyway, I've explained the stats. Who cares? Let's go on to star ratings. I had 3 5 stars, 2 4.5 stars, 8 4 stars, and 1 3 star. So, with not a lot of time left and so many books to get through, let's jump right on in. So the first book that I read in the month of August was book number 20 in the, oh my gosh, what is this series called? This is hilarious. Coffee House Cozy Mystery Series. I've read 20 books in this series. I can't remember the series title. We are doing so well! Okay, if you got that glitter, start sparkling it. Woo! Book number 20 in the Coffee House Cozy Mystery Series by Cleo Coyle, which is this book, Bulletproof Barista, and I gave this book 4 stars. Now, the series premise of this book is that we follow Claire Cosey, a master roaster who alongside her ex Mateo and his mother Madame runs the cafe The Village Blend in Greenwich Village in New York. Now, in this one, a comedian named Jerry comes to town who Claire Cosey used to be obsessed with because he comes from her old hometown, and she just, really looked up to him, thought he was a great comedian, and she learns that there's a lot more to him than met the eye. Not too long after he arrives, someone dies, and then in a particular scene that is being acted out at Claire's cafe for Jerry's new show that he is doing, her barista Tucker becomes unconscious. So there's a lot going on here behind the scenes, and Claire does need to don her sleuthing cap to get to the bottom of what is happening here. So to my thoughts, and they are very subjective. I try to be objective, it just doesn't work. I go into books for the entertainment value, but anyway, to my thoughts, and this was a massive improvement on book 19. However, I do still wish that we had a lot more time with the octogenarian of the series, Madame. I feel like we really could just have a lot more time with her, and we don't. I love my seniors in my sleuths. So if you're going to go into this series for the senior, don't do it because she's not there a lot. But if you're going to go into the series for coffee, I highly recommend it. Clearly, Cleo Coyle is a massive fan of coffee. She talks about all different tips and tricks and tidbits throughout every single book of the series. So I highly recommend it for that reason. Also, it's a grittier cozy mystery, so you have been warned. Grittier subject matters do come up in this series. So I didn't like the fact that Madame was hardly there at all, and I did dock a whole star for that one, which is why we got to 4 stars. But I did love that we had Jerry there at the cafe, because Jerry being there and filming a TV show brought about my favorite genre in any type of a book, anything to do with the performing arts, whether it be singing, acting, dancing, TV, movies, whatever it is, I don't care. If it's performing arts, I'm absolutely going to love it, and I did love it for that reason. I am sad that I only have 1 book left before I am totally up to date with this series, and in fact, I literally just started it yesterday. Book 21, No Roast for the Weary. When I'm done with this book, I'm going to be completely up to date, and quite frankly, I'm not going to know what I'm going to do with myself after 21, with that one, 20 with this one, books. I'm going to be up to date with Coffee House. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? 4 stars for this one. I do recommend this. Oh my goodness me. I do recommend this series as a whole. Reminds me of that, scene in the movie Mrs. Doubtfire when she gets a bit drunk and she's holding the menu at the restaurant at Bridges. Have you seen this movie? And she's like, woo! 4 stars. So the next book that I read was book number 6 in the Salem B&B Cozy Mystery Series by Tracy Wilton, which was this book, Mrs. Morris and the Pot of Gold. Wow, this takes me back. I feel like I read this 2 months ago, but it was only 1 month ago. Anyway, the series premise of this one is that we follow Charlene, aka Mrs. Morris, who runs a B&B in Salem in Massachusetts alongside her, deceased house guest, the rather transparent looking ways ghost Jack, who I absolutely love. Now in this book, Charlene has hired a van to ferry her B&B guests to an all-you-can-eat corned beef and cabbage dinner hosted by Salem's Irish community at the Ancient Order of Hibernians Club. But she should have booked a hearse. It's never a good sign when the family black sheep drunkenly crashes a party by punching the guy dressed as a leprechaun. But things go from troublesome to fatal when Charlene stumbles upon a second brawl in an upper room, and this fight, Connor Gallagher loses, his anonymous assailant rushing past Charlene, hidden by a hoodie, so Charlene needs to get on board and try and solve the case. So I gave this book 4 stars, and the reason for my 1-star deduction of this book was the length. Honestly, I really enjoyed this book. It opened up strongly. The investigation, the sleuthing was really good. The mystery, really intriguing. The cozy side, really intriguing. I loved my time with Charlene and with Jack. But the longer the book went on, the more my interest levels waned. And because of that, I need to dock a star. I understand that cozy mystery books are short anyway, so if you're making a longer cozy mystery compared to, say, a fantasy book that can be 500 pages or longer, this book, to give you an example, is around about 330 pages long. I just felt that the additional 50, 60, whatever pages was too much for me, and I just didn't need it, so I docked a star for that reason. But as I say, I do enjoy my interactions with Charlene and with Jack the Ghost. And yeah, I also, there is an orphan who Charlene has hired to work in her B&B, Avery, and I love this mother-daughter relationship that she kind of has with this orphan. I love their cat in the series, Silver, and she has a cook that she has hired, Charlene, Minnie. I love Minnie. Minnie is so homely. Minnie cooks the most comfort-style types of foods, and if you are someone who likes your B&B reads, especially with those revolving door of characters every single book, because it is a B&B, then I highly recommend picking up this one. If you are not a fan of paranormal cozies, know that going into this series, the only paranormal aspect is Jack the Ghost, with the exception of book number 2. If you don't like paranormal cozy mystery series that are too heavily paranormal, skip book 2 in this series, but the rest of them, the only paranormal is it features a ghost. So imagine a cozy mystery series where you have a woman who is an amateur sleuth trying to solve a case alongside a, so to say, adult version of Casper the Friendly Ghost. 4 stars from me. I can't gush enough about this series as a whole, and I don't think it's talked about on, I want to say anywhere near enough on BookTube, but I don't honestly think it's talked about on BookTube, and it should be! BookTubers, if you're looking to be challenged by Mr. Francy to read one of Mr. Francy's favourites, pick up a book in this series. You won't be disappointed, it needs more advertising. I am talking about An S.E. Cobb Senior Sleuth Cozy Mystery Series by Patricia Rockwell. Book number 3 is called Valentine. If you have ever wanted to read a cozy mystery series that features the Golden Girls, that's right, Dorothy and Blanche and Sophia and Rose. Why did it take me so long to think of Rose, given Rose is my favorite character in the series? I don't know. But imagine them 10 years later, retiring in a nursing home facility where they've changed their names because the names are not those names in this book, then you will love this series. We follow S.E. Cobb, who definitely reminds me of Blanche, her friends Marjorie, who reminds me of Rose, Opal, who reminds me of Dorothy, and Faye, who definitely reminds me of Sophia. And it is a cozy mystery light series, which means that we're not dealing with a death. So if you are sick and tired of your cozies being your mysteries in your cozies dealing with death after death after death after death after death after death after death until death is not a word anymore, then you want to pick up this series for the sake of the fact that you're not dealing with a death, you're dealing with another type of mystery. Now, in this particular book, named S.E. Cobb ends up receiving a mysterious Valentine's Day card from a secret admirer, and while the mystery does start off with her trying to work out who her secret admirer is, it actually turns into something more. Essie becomes a little intrigued by the puffed up love heart on the front of the Valentine, and so she ends up piercing it to see what is inside. Maybe it's chocolate, maybe it's some other nice treat that she hasn't discovered yet, and then suddenly white powder spills onto her leg, and she calls the cops to find out what is really going on behind this Valentine's Day card. I gave this book 4.5 stars. The only reason I docked 0.5 stars was the reveal. I have a massive gripe with any book that glosses over a reveal, and this book did that. we find the person we're looking for and don't get any explanation or motivations or means or anything like that. Given how intriguing the mystery was, that was a big letdown for me. I much prefer to get the who, what, where, when, why, how. I want to get the big explained, thought out reveal and not we found the person, okay, lead them away in handcuffs, take them to jail, we don't need to know how they pulled this off. That kind of annoyed me. But it was only enough to deduct half a star, which I hardly do these days. 4.5 stars I highly recommend. Alright, so seeing as sleuths are not your thing, but you want to be challenged to read a series that also isn't really talked about on BookTube and challenged by Mr. Francy, how about this idea? Pick up a book in The Case for the Master Sleuths Cozy Mystery Series by Alex Wagner. Book number 3, which I read in September, is called The Wednesday Evening Club. We do not follow a woman. We do not follow a man. We follow an Alaska Malamute by the name of Athos, who lives with a little tiny kitten. Her name is Pearl, and oh my goodness, this is literally Athos's story. We are getting the perspective of Athos. We're inside the mind of Athos. The world building for dogs and for Athos and seeing things from a dog's perspective is done chef's kiss so exceptionally well. So this is book 3 in that series. Highly recommend. I gave this book a total of 5 stars. So in this series, I say we follow Athos, an Alaska Malamute, and his friend Pearl, a tiny white kitten, as they do all they can to protect their two-legged being Victoria. Now in this book, also, it is set in Europe. There is no specifics of whereabouts each book in the series is set. It's just set in Europe. So if you're looking for a cozy mystery series that is not set in England, or it's not set in America, or even not set in Australia, you want something set in Europe that's written in English? This is great too. So in this one, Victoria goes to visit a former client. Victoria is a counselor, a therapist, who has become deathly ill at her former husband's estate, a grand castle. However, when Athos and Pearl arrive at the castle, it gives off very spooky gothic vibes. Then suddenly the medical doctor, Rolf Buckman, is found murdered, and Victoria's former client claims to see vampires, ghosts, and werewolves, all connecting to books that the Wednesday Evening Club have been reading. So what is truly going on here? So, to my thoughts, I could gush so much about the world building of having a cozy mystery series where we follow the perspective of a dog. I won't do that. I'll just say it's amazing because we're going to run out of time. But the mystery in this one was amazing. One thing that I do love about following an animal rather than a human is, yes, there are advantages to it being an animal, such as, for example, Athos can go and listen into an interview with the suspect without anyone really caring because Athos is a dog. But there are disadvantages as well. So, for example, Athos's human doesn't speak dog. So Athos may get the answer to the mystery, but how the heck's he going to translate it to Victoria? Who knows? So really, really well done, and I really appreciate it for that. But there is so much to discover with not only the mystery, but the castle, the people, the residents, and things that go on around the castle. Really, really, really well done. 5 stars. The next book that I picked up is labeled as a cozy mystery, and I am here to provide a rebuttal. It is book number 1 in the Christmas River Cozy Mystery series by Meg Muldoon, Murder in Christmas River. I just don't think that this is a cozy mystery. I think it is more of a cozy contemporary that includes a death. In this book, we follow Cinnamon Peters, who runs a pie shop named Cinnamon Pies in Christmas River in Oregon. I love cozy set in Oregon. I don't know why. I just really, really do. So shout out to Oregon. The book opens up with a prologue, omniscient narration regarding a dog attacking someone who had killed their owner. Fast forward to chapter 1, and we meet Cinnamon in her store chatting with her co-worker Cara about the upcoming gingerbread house competition that she takes part in every year. Cut to the next chapter, where a dog that she's named Huckleberry comes to the door for food, but is too skittish to come inside. Eventually, Hick is able to get Cinnamon to follow him to the body of his dead owner, but who killed him? Let's hope the killer can be unmasked. And the reason why I say, let's hope the killer will be unmasked is because, we don't actually view Cinnamon as a sleuth of any kind, amateur or not. Don't get me wrong, she has an assumption about halfway through the book, but we don't see her actively hunting down clues to try and work out who the killer is. Therefore, while the reveal was good, I can say spoiler-free that the reveal was not made in any way thanks to Cinnamon, which leads me to wonder, is this actually a cozy mystery? On the other hand, this book sees Cinnamon deal with a love square, if you will. On one side, we have a doctor, a regular customer, as well. We have Daniel, and then Cinnamon dated, and we also have Cinnamon's ex, who cheated on her with arguably her best friend 2 years ago. Her friend and ex are still together, but is her ex actually lusting after her? I don't think it's a cozy mystery. I call it more a cozy contemporary. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I thought the book was enjoyable, but I had to dock a star based on the brief of it being a cozy mystery. It just wasn't for me. 4 stars though. If you're going into this one, go into it for a cozy contemporary that deals with romance that also has a murder in it, and I think you may enjoy it. Time for another Mr. Francy read challenge. So you don't want to read S.C. Cobb. So you don't want to read Kate Senior Sleuths. What about reading this series? It is the Mysteries of Max Cozy Mystery series by Nick Saint. I read book number 3, Perfect Revenge, and I cannot recommend this series highly enough. We follow a cat in this one, whose name is Max. He is a blorange tabby, a blonde orange, and he lives with his human Victoria. Victoria does understand cats, but she's the only human we've seen so far in the series that does, so it is just limited to her. So much fun. In this book, the Ken Speckles, who sound very much like the Kardashians, a reality TV series following sisters, is present. However, one of the sisters has been murdered. One of Max's other cat friends saw the whole thing go down. Odelia, who is Max's human, is finally trusted enough by the new cop Chase to come with her to interview the suspects at the Ken Speckle mansion, and even Brutus, who is one of the cats, wants in, but Max knows only he and his cat friend Dooley can solve the case. I love the series so far as a whole, and I'm saddened that the audiobooks will stop after the next one, as I want to listen to all 98. Yes, there are 98 books out in this series, and clearly we got to 98 for a reason. It is that good. So if you want a series that may last you the entire year, here's another way to go as well. But I just love Max so much. I love the world building of cats in this series. Did I say Alex Wagner? I meant Nick Saint. I don't know. I get the two authors confused. I'm so sorry. Nick Saint, which is a husband and wife duo, Nick and Nicole, do an amazing job with this series. I highly recommend it. Challenge yourself. Pick up one of these books, and if you don't like it, that's totally fine. But I think you will, especially if you love cats and you want to know more about how cats think and feel and what happens with cats behind the scenes. You get all that and amazing mysteries and so much more in this series. For a perfect 5 stars from me for this one. The next book that I picked up was book number 3 in the A Tucson Valley Retirement Community Cozy Mystery Series, called Dying for Dirt, parentheses, All Soaped Up by Marcy Blessy, and I gave this book 4 stars. The series premise of this one is that we follow Rosie LaRue, a woman who works in the theatre of the Tucson Valley Retirement Community. Now, in this book, Rosie and some of the other ladies from the community are granted a stipend to attend a convention to promote and assist retirement communities, and good news, Barley, her dog, is able to attend with her. However, when Rosie finds her third body since moving to Tucson in her hotel bathroom with her name on a card in his breast pocket, Rosie knows she needs to solve the case. I love this series. It is just really funny. There are so many moments of hilarity. If you want to laugh out loud with the Cozy Mystery series, this is where you go. Also, the love interest is a gardener / landscaper and not a detective. So if you're tired of that trope, turn to this as well. I thought that this was really well done. Now, I did give it 4 stars, and let's see why. Oh, the reveal was a letdown. It felt like it came out of left field, and there was no real way to solve the murder beforehand. Yeah, so the reveal came from out of nowhere, and once we got the reveal, I was looking at it going, there's no way I could have worked this out, that it was this person. So that did annoy me, and I deducted a star for that, because when you go into a cozy mystery, you're trying to solve the mystery, and if you can't solve the mystery, a star needs to be deducted. But otherwise, it was really good. I love conventions and things like that in cozies as well. If you like that, you'll enjoy this book for that reason. 4 stars from me. The next book that I read was book number 2 in the Deep Dish Cozy Mystery series by Mindy Quigley, Ashes to Ashes, Crust to crust. Now, in this series, we follow Dee, who runs a deep dish restaurant in Geneva Bay, Wisconsin, alongside her employees, Rabbit, Sonia, Melody, Daniel, and my personal favorite and new employee, Yaka. I have spent a lot of time talking about this in one of my reading vlogs for the month, so go back and check that out because I love Yaka so much. I hope we continue to see more of her. Now, in this book, Dee's ex is now with some new woman who is running a juice bar. As Dee goes to drop Butterball, the cat she and her ex share custody of, at this new woman's juicery, a man dies after drinking a mixed juice. This opens up a whole can of worms, and the least of Dee's concerns will be how a bratwurst went missing from her kitchen, which to me was a lot more appealing than the actual mystery. There was a bratwurst and then there wasn't. Why was there no bratwurst anymore? It's not the mystery, it's just I found it really appealing. So I didn't like what Minnie Quigley did with the reveal. I feel like any other reveal would have been better, but in saying that, I loved everything else about the book. As I say, Yaka is a fantastic addition to the series. Being Bulgarian, her culture and therefore way of being is just so perfect among the rest of the characters. I also love Butterball. I cannot wait to continue the series in 2026. If you're looking for a culinary cozy that is really culinary, plus with a protagonist who very much stands up for herself. She's unapologetically herself. Then I highly recommend this series, and also for Butterball, because, I mean, it's Butterball. What else needs to be said? 4.5 stars. The next book that I read was book number 1, a new series to me in the Shake Shop mystery series by Dana Mentink, as we sing the song, Take Me Please to the Pint of No Return. Oh, yeah. And I gave this book 3 stars. In this book, we follow Trinidad Jones, a Shake Shop owner of the shop Shimmy and Shake in Upper Sprocket in Oregon, who owns a dog named Noodles, a retired service dog, a grey-haired Labrador. Having moved back to Upper Sprocket after a court case involving her ex that revealed 2 other women he'd been involved with, Trinidad is determined to open her shake shop. She's even started making friends in Upper Sprocket, including one of the other women her ex had been with, but fate dealt a tough hand when she made friends with the Popcorn King, and the pair decided to both go in for an order of bulk nuts. When she delivers his happens to find him dead in the store, now she needs to work out what is going on. If you want to see a shake shop cozy that shows a lot of different shakes like this one on the cover, this is what you go for. It is really well done on the cozy theme side. As far as the mystery, I really didn't enjoy it that much. I do love the idea of these 3 scorned women by one guy looking like they're all going to come together and be good friends. I mean, that's the ultimate revenge, right? Really sets you up for an amazing read, and I would love to read more Dana Mentink. I am reading book number 2 in September. 3 stars for this one because I didn't like the mystery, but I loved everything else about it. Highly recommend for the cozy theme side. The next book that I read was book number 9 in the Country Store Cozy Mystery series by Maddie Day, called No Greater Crime. In this series, we follow Robbie Jordan, who runs a country store in Southlake in Indiana. In this book, Robbie is doing as she normally does, preparing the food, cooking it, and serving it in the diner. Customers she expects, her assistants she expects, but people being taken to hospital sick with food poisoning over her own food, given how careful she always is, that she did not expect. What the heck is going on here? I love this series so much. The audio narrator of this series makes Robbie Jordan sound like she's an octogenarian, even though she's like in her early to late 30s or 20s or I don't know. But anyway, I love my elderly sleuths. So to me, headcanon, Robbie is an elderly woman and I love her so much. And her cat Birdie, who is over there, sorry. Birdie. So yeah, Robbie runs a part country store, part B&B, part diner, and it is just so much fun. And Robbie is the nicest, arguably, main character amateur sleuth you'll come across in the Cozy Mystery series. So if you're looking for more kindness, here's where I suggest you go as well. And the idioms and the sayings and the cultures of Southlake, Indiana in this world that Maddie Day has created are so much fun and so funny. I gave this one a total of 4 stars. We are rapidly running out of time, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit with these last 4 books. The next 2 books I'm going to show you, I did not read them in this book, then that book. I read this book from this series, another book from another series, this book from this series, another book from another series, but I'm going to show you the 2 series in a row to save time. So the first of those 2 out of 4 books I'm going to show you is book number 7 and book number 8 in the Magical Cats Cozy Mystery series, Faux Paw and Pause and Effect, and they are by Sophie Kelly. I gave this one 5 stars. I gave this one 4 stars. The basic series premise is that we follow Kathleen Paulson, who is a librarian in somewhere in Minnesota, Mayville Heights in Minnesota, but don't go into the series for the library stuff because it is called the Magical Cats Cozy Mystery Series because we are following Kathleen, but the point of the series is the cats Owen and Hercules, and I love this series so much as a whole. A great shout out to my dear friend Jane. If you want to know more of my thoughts, I go into more detail in my latest reading blog that's already out with this one, and in my next one I will be discussing this one. So yeah, really enjoying this series. As I said, these were books 7 and 8, and I'll be reading books 9 and 10 in September. And the final 2 books I'm going to show you are the first 2 books in the candy-coded mystery series by Nancy Coco. Book 1, All Fudged Up. Book 2, To Fudge or Not to Fudge. I gave this book 4 stars. I gave this book 4 stars. The basic premise of this series as a whole is that we follow Ally McMurphy, a hotel and fudge shop owner, alongside her poodle pup Mal, short for Marshmallow, in Mackinac Island in Michigan. So the cozy theme side is making fudge. We didn't get a lot of that in this one. We got a whole lot more of it in this one. Both of them open up with the mystery, and the mystery expands for the first 3 chapters in the series, so you take a while to get to the cozy theme, so do keep that in mind. But once you do, it is so worth it. I mean, who can't love that dog? And it can be so cute! Little Marshmallow! So we do spend quite a bit of time with Marshmallow. Cuteness in this one. Marshmallow is actually very integral to the mystery in this one, and we spend a lot of time in the fudge shop, including, what's her name again? Ally McMurphy, doing fudge presentations of making fudge to tourists in both of these books. And in this one, there's a cooking competition as well, which is a lot of fun. So it was a rough start for me with this one, but I'm glad I continued because I love this one a whole lot more. But I gave them both the same rating of 4 stars. And I do highly recommend, if you want to read a whole lot more about fudgy, lovely fudge, I love my fudge, and reading about Marshmallow. And now grab that confetti and glitter that you have in your hands and throw it in the air as we celebrate our favourite game that we like to call Up, 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 Up. These are all the books that I read in the month of August in 2025. Now you can see them all. There you go. What books did you read in the month of August 2025, and how did you feel about them? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to let me know something positive, cheerful, and happy so you can spread your sparkling energy in those comment section below, and to join us over on the Discord. Link again is in the description as well as the first pinned comment. We would love to have your company, totally free to join, and we sparkle every single day. But in the meantime, I'm going to do as I always do. Let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind. Please do love one another and spread that sparkling energy of yours with all the glitter and confetti and happiness and joy all throughout the world. Yeah! And until next time, happy reading. Bye!